It's a little fade out and everything.
Yeah. Hi, everybody, and stuff.
And whatnot.
Oh, crap.
What's wrong?
I got to get some. Whoop. I just clipped the zip ties that were holding my that, what do they call them? Like a phone
Camera?
stand, iPhone standy thing onto my basket chair because I'm going to put it on the other basket chair.
You only have one phone thing per basket chair?
I only have one phone thing. And I have 2 basket chairs and several hammocky things. We're going to now. Can I turn the camera around? No.
There's not a way to do that.
Not in StreamYard. Anyway, we know we're on air for those of you watching. I know it sounded like we might not know that. I'm trying to find the zip ties.
Trying to find the zip tie.
Because the zip tie is like, it's like up there with duct tape. It's like better than duct tape, kind of.
It's like magic.
Yeah, the zip tie is like, duct tape is kind of for amateurs,
Amateur what?
Like amateur, jury riggers. I don't know, amateur jalopy makers. I don't know. Amateurs.
Those are
Do you want to be?
Those are
Do you want to be a
exceptional, like quintessential amateurs.
Yeah, like duct tape is for amateurs. I'm a professional amateur, so
A prof amateur.
So yeah, I've moved on to zip ties because they, zip ties implies parts of your structure are not 2-dimensional.
So for those just tuning in, you're getting to see Andrea's house in Costa Rica.
No, you're getting to see little weird bits.
And I guess part of your hand.
Like, I don't care about duct tape anymore. I care about zip ties.
LDG at Free the Net is here.
What? Oh, hi. I'm interested to hear what LDG thinks of my zip tie manifesto. What's happening?
Well, that's a good question.
No, what's happening with you, mofo?
With me?
Yeah. Hi.
We've had storms.
Oh yeah, did you get any tornadoes? He's in Maryland, Baltimore.
Yeah, as far as I know, we didn't get any tornado. It's weird. We had a big sun shower the other day, and then this morning I was in Fells Point, and it wasn't raining. And when I came back here, everything was covered in rain.
I thought you were going to say like frost or something.
It's covered in frost, rain.
When things are covered with rain, we usually call that wet. Or covered with water. Like, I don't think it's rain anymore.
It's X-rain, which is appropriate for this show.
God damn it. I keep forgetting I'm on this damn video too and doing dumb things like, scratching where my bra strap itches. Okay, Chris, you have to carry some of this now. Talk.
Okay. Great. Well, we have a new sponsor. Our sponsor is People with Chronic Coughs Have a Story, which is apparently a true statement. And so here there are a couple of things we wanted to talk about before.
No. I have something to say about the chronic cough people.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
What do you want to say about the chronic cough people?
Well, there's this I just want to point out that this is like an even better iteration of the crazy place our marketing and PR has gotten to in this in this world. Like what I was saying before we went online is like, quick, like take 1 minute and find like the most. Can you still see me? It's my
No. What
but
did
you
you
can
do?
hear me.
Yes.
Oh,
Did you go to a
good.
different app or something?
No, when I minimize, you can't see me. That's good to know. Um, so go to okay. So what's the most like boring and blank, like industry or company you can think of?
I don't know. The most boring and blank industry.
Just think of a company.
Like an actual, like a company in terms of the idea behind the company, or an actual company.
No, just an actual company.
A company that makes like, how about Dixie?
What's like Dixie cups?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, go to their website.
Okay.
I'm at the Steel Manufacturers Association
Okay.
website.
Dixie Ultra. Dixie.com.
Okay, now go to the menu.
Well, they don't, I mean, they have, navigation across the top. What are you looking for?
Looking for their either about us or our
Okay.
story.
Got it. I got there about us. It all started with a cup.
Does it really say that?
It really says that. Shall I share this?
Yeah, share it.
All right, hold on. Here.
Wish I could find my damn zip ties. Maybe I have some in the car.
There we go. Oof. So do you see this? It all started with a cup.
Oh my God, look at that. Okay, it all started with a cup. And is that like interactive? Is this like,
No, it's not. This looks like it might be. I don't know. And an idea to stop the spread of germs, the health cup. So
okay,
Llewellyn and his brother-in-law Hugh Moore. What a
okay,
horrible sentence.
now
Moved to New York,
go to the end of this story.
where
I'm now in
things
the
are
car.
today.
Yeah.
That'd be funny if it just virtually scrolled forever. Ongoing innovation is the end.
And what is it?
At,
What does it say? The world today. What does that part say?
I'm going to read it the way that they want it read, which is
Yeah.
at Dixie, we're always looking for inspiration for the next great product. We get input from multiple sources, from focus groups to customer requests to business studies and more. We're always learning and working to develop products that fill the customer's needs while providing excellent value. Our goal is to continually improve our products and the lives of our consumers.
There you go. There you go. We're improving the lives of our consumers. When's the last time you pulled a Dixie cup down or was handed one by a dentist and you thought, my life is improved right now?
No, it's true. I mean, I think this all the time because I'm like, I'm so glad I'm not using my hands to do this. It would be
Right. I'm
like,
so
here,
glad I'm
sit in
not
this cup.
leaning over a dirty river.
Right.
Everything is a brand story now, right?
Yes.
Everything is like this high and lofty conceptual thing, right?
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah.
what does the cough thing say?
What does the cough thing say? It says, up at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to scroll all the way back there through the 60s. So the health cup, Llewellyn and his
No,
brother-in-law.
the cough thing at the top right of our. It's like every
Oh,
cough has a
oh,
story.
every cough has a story. Yeah, every chronic cough has a story.
Yeah. I don't think I can share my screen from the phone version of this,
You've
which
done it
makes a lot of
before,
sense. Am I?
or maybe. Well, I thought you had, but maybe not. Here. Well, here. Tell me where you want to go, and I can go there if you don't. If you can't.
Okay, here I'll send you a link.
Okay.
I'll send it in WhatsApp.
Okay.
There.
Unilever. That's French for one lever. All right. Here we'll switch. Hang on.
I just want everybody to know, just so I know I have said it, that I have put on no makeup. I haven't put like my fun glasses on. I haven't even brushed my hair. Okay, so I promise nothing in terms of the
I haven't brushed my hair either.
the visual happiness of anybody. Okay, yeah, our story. Our story. This is a company. What do they make? Like shampoos and soap, and they bought Ben and Jerry's. I mean,
So their company
when
is
you use one of our products, you can be sure that there's an innovation or two in there. Hold on.
We have over 20,000 patents.
Hold on. I've just like you have to find the money sentence.
And here's a random fact: 210 tons of plastic recycled per year by vegetarian butcher.
Our ambition to unstereotype influencer brand content.
Where is that?
I'm just like I'm already so like I want my eyes to burn out like the Nazis at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's like everything is a passion and a mission and making the world a better place and connecting people to each other. And it's like these high conceptual philosophical things. You can't just be like, "It's a damn good cup, a damn good paper cup." You know?
I like this. Like, do you remember Lifebuoy, which is Life
Yeah.
Buoy, right?
Yeah.
So it apparently it was the first soap brand in the world to contain carbolic acid, giving its distinctive red color and medicinal scent. And then in parentheses, carbolic acid is no longer used in the production of Lifebuoy, right? But then 2021 Lifebuoy scientists, which there's just something about that. Can you imagine what do you do? Well, I'm a Lifebuoy scientist. Oh, what's that like? Well, well, just the other day I harnessed the power of silver with a breakthrough patented technology. So that was pretty exciting.
Yeah. This is so Cheetle. She's my baby. I think I would be shocked if anybody had any association with Lifebuoy other than the kid having his mouth washed out in the Christmas Story movie. Am I right? Comments from the let's see, we have LDG and we have Joseph and we have John DeMarco. All of the good people. Don't let anybody else in, okay?
What?
Chris?
How do I keep people from coming in?
Stop reading things and talk.
Oh. Hang on, I have to do something.
I'm trying to be more of an asshole this morning.
On purpose?
Well, just because I think there are certainly times when I'm privately much more of an asshole to you. So I might, what's the point of doing a show as exes if you're not going to just let it all hang out, right?
I think that's fully true.
Barely fucking listening to me. Yes.
Hang on. All right, hold on. Let me get rid of this. Oof.
Let me see.
Right.
Put on.
Mr. Lundell's Groovy Movies is here.
Hi, Mr. Lundell. I think these are a little better. Meaning these glasses have slightly stronger magnification. Not that they look better.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about was that apparently apparently a baby shark bath toy has been recalled because there's an impalement risk from the fin.
Oh yeah,
which isn't actually funny, but it seems funny because I called it, and then underneath it I wrote "stabby shark."
Stabby shark, stabby shark, and then I was thinking garroting shark, do 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 do, or like trepanning shark, do 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 do.
Trepanation shark.
Yeah.
Here, I can show a picture of that.
Here are my limes. You want to see my limes?
Yes, let's see your limes. Wow, they're
Ooh.
beautiful.
Yeah. Those are limes, and then the mandarin orange tree over here, but it has no mandarin oranges because it's coming back. And these are a kind of guava called Cass. It's native only to this part of Central America. Here's a teeny one. Can you see it?
This is a teeny one.
Okay, good. You can see it.
Here, I'm going to give you a little stabby shark action.
And I'll show you the vine that I have growing on my fence, which has turned into a giant mating zone for stick insects. Also, mating zone is definitely a scientific term. Just joking.
There's the stabby shark, by the way.
Sing and swim and sink.
It's from Pink Fong.
Poke Fong.
I wonder how many other colored fongs they had before they ended up at Pink Fong.
Did people respond, or are people responding and I'm just not seeing it because?
Can you not see it? The last thing was the hello with a question mark.
Yeah, Mr. Londell.
Oh, actually, hold on. Let me go to the other.
Yeah, go to YouTube because I thought people were going to respond to something I said that I can't remember because it was so fascinating. I can't even remember it myself.
I don't think so. Here, I'll respond. Yo.
What was it was about, do people agree with me that, I don't remember. Let me go back and restate some of my strident claims from this morning. Amateurs use duct tape and professional amateurs use zip ties.
Okay.
Why
do you think that?
The state of like marketing and branding has gotten so out of control that the most mundane things have to have some wackadoodle narrative which links the company into passion and changing the world.
I mean, it's interesting. I think it's true. However, whatever. I noticed this in New York City in 2019. Look, I think gay pride is awesome. I think LGBTQ pride is great, and our child just went to the pride thing.
This preamble.
Hold on. No, hold on. I just want to say this. But what's funny is, if companies weren't making money off of it, I don't think they'd be so excited about it.
Oh,
right. That's the point.
Well, companies they're just agnostic. But I mean, I went into Walmart here in Costa Rica, and they had the Pride parade this past weekend was like pretty big for the fact that it's in Central America. And I happened to go. I didn't go to the march, but I went into the Walmart on the day of the march, and they had a like a stand set up with the rainbow things, and I was standing in the checkout, and there was like mugs that said like human and like vaguely sort of happy things, and then they had like rainbow measuring cups. And it was like somebody went around the store and got anything that had a rainbow. I looked a little closer, and it was like the most random assortment of like, oh, this toilet cleaner has rainbow on it. We'll put it on the stand. I was laughing out loud.
Well, that's great. Didn't you tell me? Weren't you talking? Do you remember talking to me about the like? Was it Costco's the Costa Rican Costco's website or something, and how they hadn't really?
Oh God, no!
Right.
That was just an example.
Okay.
It's Costa Rican web design.
Right.
It's like it's like 1996 out there. Here, go to
Professor
Walmart.
Brainy Specs says you're making me dizzy.
Okay, I'll stop. I'm trying to find something.
Are you still looking for zip ties?
Still looking for zip ties. And then
So
in the
hold on, I have a
process
question. Can we
in
go
the
back to
process of
something?
looking for the zip ties, I lost other things. What?
So if zip ties, so wait a minute. You said you said, what did you say about duct tape and zip ties? They're
I said
both
that amateurs use duct tape and
and
professional
professional
amateurs
amateurs. Okay.
use zip ties. And earlier I said to you that um, using duct tape implies that probably one of your surfaces is, planar. It's two-dimensional of some kind. Zip ties, you're in like a whole new like Rube Goldberg kind of land, where you're like you're lashing things together, man.
So what are professionals use? Actual like things like stands, like this stand here, this kind of thing.
No, professionals are engineers.
So they develop solutions and then have them made.
When my brother was at APL, the Applied Physics Lab, they have a 3D printer that prints in titanium. And so professionals make shit up in their heads and print it out of metal. They don't need no damn zip ties.
Can they just do that? Like, do they have to? Like? Basically, can they sketch in titanium, or do they have to? Is there a
No,
process?
you have to use like a CAD.
No. What I'm saying is, if they're like, "Oh, I have an idea," and 5 minutes later, they're trying to print this thing out in titanium, or do they do that in plastic first, for instance? I would
I have
imagine they
no
probably
idea what
do.
their workflow is. But
You know,
the point is when they need a part for the, let's not talk about O-rings, but when they need like a part, they didn't have 3D printers, certainly not metal back then. They just make it. And that's kind of cool. Like there are a lot of old cars that, like really old cars that were like junked because you couldn't get parts and making parts was too hard before, that now it's going to be, possible to do a lot of things because you can just print parts. Excuse me, I'm going to jump into my basket chair here. Can you see
actually,
that?
going to jump into it.
Well, yeah, it's pretty high off the ground. I just have to put the phone down for a second.
Wait, you can jump into the chair and then reach your phone on the ground from the chair?
No, I have this
Apparently.
fancy invention called a table next to the chair.
So it's not on the ground.
It is not on the ground, though.
Okay.
See how we can be just assholes to each other? You don't have to be an engineer to be any level of professional. I know a few engineers that can't use a screwdriver. Yes, that's true. But I'm talking about my very own ranking system that, is very precise and judgmental and matters to nobody in the whole world. But I am very strident about. Just joking. Greetings from the future. That's because Joseph's in Slovenia. Which fuck, I don't want to get that wrong.
Okay, Professor Brenny Specs is leaving.
Oh, he's probably going to work. Going to work, Jeff? Ooh. Woo! I can make you all kinds of dizzy by spinning myself around. Okay. So,
Put this over here.
hey, look, you're you. Oh, because you went on YouTube.
Yes, that's why. It's true.
So, this is the problem I have. The moments when I feel like I wouldn't watch this.
There's this problem that starts at the beginning and it goes all the way through to where we are right now.
Okay, you were going to say something.
I was going to say, have you? So, I mean, there are a lot of different things to talk about. Actually, this is interesting. I don't know if you've heard of this. So in Baltimore, the Baltimore Gas and Electric Company has, I guess, decided that they are installing meters that can be read outside. I guess outside the home,
Mm-hmm.
and it involves drilling like through your house,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and people are freaking out about it, and it's funny because the people who are freaking out about it are people who have, I guess, what they consider to be sort of like, classic, like a classic row home or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Most of
And
those people have a coal chute though.
most of them still have a coal chute.
Yeah.
And you're saying, couldn't they use the coal chute instead?
Yeah. But
I don't know. So people have filed an injunction against this.
they could just turn off the electricity and the gas.
Well, I mean, I think people protesting it have been sent to jail. They're residents of historic neighborhoods.
What? They've
Yeah.
been sent to jail?
Well, I mean, have been arrested.
What?
Because
For
they
what?
were for protesting this, like, I guess preventing people from doing their work. Apparently, so let's see here.
I cannot believe that somebody on their private property preventing a company from coming in and drilling into their house would be arrested. I think, maybe they must have been protesting in some way that deserves to be arrested, but it's so totally counter to all of like American private property law.
Hang on.
The courts would uphold cutting them off way before they would uphold arresting them.
So maybe, well, that may be true. They had their 6 homeowners who live in the Warren Avenue on Warren Avenue in Federal Hill said their gas service was shut off Wednesday and Friday with short notice after the owners refused to let BGE replace their gas regulators.
And then what? Who got arrested?
I don't think anyone got arrested. They just got their gas shut off. Oh, well, hold on. Well, no, 3 women, 2 of whom are plaintiffs, were arrested Thursday while protesting in front of BGE construction crews.
What
City
did they do?
representatives, it doesn't say. City representatives and Baltimore police officers were called to mediate the conflict that ended in the women being detained. Claudia Towles was one of the. Now I can't read any more of it because it's like $4 for 1 year. So anyway, apparently that happened. That
No, we need to know what they did in front of the crews.
I heard they did a little soft shoe.
I don't know what that is.
That's like tap dancing with non-tap shoes.
What the fuck is that then?
No, I'm not being serious. They didn't do a
Oh.
soft.
No. I don't mean the protest. I mean, like, what do you mean tap dancing with no tap shoes?
Are you being serious?
Yeah. I mean, what are you supposed to watch it?
Well, no. I mean, no. Well, I mean, they're dancing. I mean, people who are tap dancing are dancing, right? But you hear a clock.
Okay. Imagine
Right?
right now that you are looking at someone tap dancing but cannot hear the track.
It would be like watching a silent movie of someone tap dancing.
It's not like
But they would
Ginger
be like-
Rogers here. It's not Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. They're standing
It
in
is.
one place going like yada yada yada.
I think you have a very limited conception of tap dancing.
I think tap dancing is a limited concept.
Tell that to Savon Glover.
Hold on, I can't hear you. I'm trying to get back in my chair. Now that I've insulted tap dancing, what?
I said tell that to Savon Glover.
Who?
He's a famous tap dancer.
And I think famous has to be put in quotes here.
Hold on. This is
Okay.
All
right. I want anyone in the chat to name, without looking it up, name any tap dancer.
Other than Savon Glover. Is that maybe that's not the person's name? Hold on.
Slovakia. Jesus. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Oh, it's Savion. Okay. Savion Glover, American dancer. He was born in 1973.
Largest car manufacturer per capita in Slovakia. It's awesome. As long as you concede the fact that an engineer came up with the plans for something, it takes technicians and craftsmen, both of them I consider professionals, to build it. Yes.
Beverly Crusher.
I think oh yeah, Jesus. I think you're right, Mr. Lundell, and I was just I was trying to diss myself basically by saying professionals are people who do real things, and I play with zip ties. Um, John DeMarco, their protesting must not have qualified as yes, exactly. They call it soft shoe, yes. I don't see the point. What is the point?
You don't see the point of soft shoe?
No, not at all.
It's how you
It's
practice
like
baptism.
taking Van Halen and turning off the music and just watching them. Yeah. and then naming that like a soft Halen. Like, as if it were a
It's
thing.
Van Silent. Oh, Joe's here. Hey, Chris. Hey, Joe. How are you?
All right.
Okay. Question is, what part of the infrastructure belongs to the provider?
I'm talking to Andrea.
Gas regulator is typically owned by the gas provider, and it looks like a safety regulation and risk for general population.
In front of ones of people.
Yeah.
Ones in front of ones of people.
I agree. I agree, Yosef. It's like it's fun. Like those kinds of things really get at like the philosophical concept underlying like a theory of governance, right? Like once you privatize, the electricity and the infrastructure, how do you regulate safety, and how do you regulate these kinds of hookups? And especially, I mean, because the laissez-faire capitalists would say, cut them off. If they're not going to let us check our meters, we aren't going to serve them whatever it is, right? But no one really wants that secretly down deep, because they don't want people dying in their houses in the winter or the summer, right? And you don't want your next door neighbor to have lower safety standards than you on your gas hookup, right? So you actually do want to regulate it and make it a kind of a public good, or a public thing, right? So I think it's interesting to dig into those to these kinds of dilemmas.
So,
and Chris, I still want to know what they did.
Well, okay, so I've WBAL TV is not going to give me a paywall. So, residents at Federal Hill stood out in the rain all day Thursday in protest of Baltimore Gas and Electric's repairs in the neighborhood. This was last Thursday. Some residents were even arrested after several warnings from police to leave the work area. One resident said, "This is an abomination," as she was ushered into a police van. BGE is a predatory company. Apparently, BGE wants to install what they say are new, safer equipment, and the residents disagree. And they, as we heard, they had their service shut off. On Thursday, neighbors stood in front of BGE equipment to prevent any more work from happening. I've been a longtime resident of Federal Hill, and quite honestly, I've never seen anything like it, Sandra Seward said. Seward said she feels threatened by BGE as the utility aims to install new equipment on her block. Lawyer Thiru Vignaraja, what is this feedback I'm hearing? Are you like doing something?
Yeah, I was probably covering the mic.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, Thiru Vignaraja, who was also running for governor a while back and didn't do. He's the guy, just as an aside, he's the guy who got pulled over by police for having expired tags and then asked the cops to turn off their body cams. Not a good look. Anyway,
not a good not look.
So yeah, and he said BG is talking about drilling 3-inch boreholes through marble that's 100 years old. They've torn up streets and sidewalks all across Baltimore, all to pad their profits, he said. They're upset BG is placing external gas regulators on their historic homes. They believe these are an eyesore and a safety hazard and have been asking for another option for weeks. Now this is the story, this is not him. Now they say BG is shutting off some of the gas for people who are trying to resist the work. We've had 4 neighbors who had their gas illegally shut off by BGE yesterday without proper notice, causing irreparable harm. I don't know if it was irreparable harm. I mean, it might have been. We're talking about families with zero notice, Fells Point Residents Association board member said. And then BGE responded. and you can imagine what they say. They've always undertaken, will continue to undertake work that enhances the safety and reliability of the natural gas distribution system. I mean, there is something to this. Like places blow up every once in a while.
Here's what no one is saying that
You
I
know.
think is actually going on here.
Okay.
I think people don't like to let the gas guy come in and read the meter. The company doesn't like going in to read the meter.
Sure.
That in itself creates all kinds of problems. So what people do is either self-report, which is like often underreported.
That's not what these are.
No, what the gas company, if you don't let someone in, okay, so if you don't let the guy in to read the meter for long enough, the gas company takes, your history of
Sure.
gas use and, projects it forward. And that leads to all of the situations where the gas company calls you one day and, because the babysitter accidentally let him in and says, you owe us $400,000 or whatever.
Yeah, but hold on. They also have a lot in Baltimore anyway. There are a lot of connected meters where they don't have to go in any longer for years now, right? So like this is not about that. This is about
the point of this story is to put gas meters on the outsides of houses.
It's not meters, they're regulators. And their point is that if there's an emergency, they can turn gas off to the house outside.
Is that it?
Yeah, so here, this is what it's saying.
I bet you it's meters too. You don't put a regulator on without a meter.
But they already had meters that were sending information back from the inside. They've been doing this for over a decade. So that's not, those are inside the house broadcasting to BGE. This is what they're saying. They're modernizing its gas system by replacing its aging low-pressure gas infrastructure with a higher-pressure system. The new system will provide more reliable and resilient gas to residents. The work cannot happen without the upgrade or addition of gas regulators to maintain a safe level of pressure. So it's regulating the pressure between the gas system and the customer's homes and appliances. Externally placed regulators are safer because in the event of an unintended gas release incident, gas vents directly into the atmosphere as opposed to building up inside a structure where it is susceptible to ignition that can have catastrophic results. External regulators are also readily accessible to first responders and BGE personnel in the case of a gas emergency, as opposed to internal regulators that cannot be accessed as quickly. So that's what they're saying. Let's see.
Does it say anywhere it does not include meter changes?
It doesn't say. I'm not saying anything about meter. Oops, sorry.
Okay.
When work is required on our equipment to meet our commitment to deliver safe and reliable energy, this is the only mention of meter in this. Our customers are required to provide BGE with unobstructed access to this equipment under the terms of BGE's gas service tariff, as well as applicable regulations. This includes all piping up to and including the gas meter. Any action to deny access to the equipment will start a service disconnection process per the gas service tariff. Our desired approach is to avoid service interruptions, but in some situations it is necessary to maintain the integrity of our systems.
The Fox story says in the first sentence that they're trying to install external gas meters.
Does it say anything about regulators?
They may have just, it may be wrong.
The word meter that is the only time the word meter is in this story on WBAL. I mean, I don't know if it's right or not, but that's the only time that's it's mentioned. And these are allegedly about regulators.
Well, I just want to make sure because that's a big difference, right?
Yeah, sure. Let's see.
I'm looking at the Baltimore Sun article. Oh, it's exclusively for subscriber. I hate paywalls.
No, I do too. Hold on. Well, and so in the article about the protesters speaking out, none of them says meter. The regulators are mentioned twice.
I know, but that is one. That could be one side's line.
Sure. Okay. Fair enough. Let's see.
So the CBS station is calling it exterior gas equipment. I think that's important. I mean, I know this is interesting. I think this is real.
So it's interesting on this article in the Baltimore Fishbowl. There are 11 mentions of regulators from June 22nd. Now let's see how many meters. There are no
So it's
mentions.
It's 3-inch holes in marble, granite, and brick facades.
That's what people are upset about.
This is a big hole.
Yeah.
Additional police officers showed up to defuse the situation. They gave residents several minutes to leave before arrests were made. That's such arrests were made. Fairmont says they didn't give their consent for BG&E to install gas pressure regulators, which means contractors would. Okay. So they did not give their consent. There was an hour. There was a standoff for like hours.
So this is the size of a 3-inch hole, if anyone's curious. That's the size of a 3-inch hole, like on my forehead, to give you an idea of how big it is. I have a big head, so.
PG&E cut off service to several homes because the homeowners refused to consent to the utility company tearing up their sidewalks and drilling into their homes.
We're talking about gas, Renda Menace.
Representatives from the mayor's office and Baltimore Police Department told residents that around 2 p.m. They were authorized to detain them if they interfered with the work.
So that's funny that you're living in paradise and we're talking about this.
See, okay, so some person said they're trying to strong arm residents into giving consent, into having their houses torn apart, their streets torn apart. This person doesn't like. Those are vastly different like sections of the conceptual world of governance. Your house and your street.
That's interesting. So did you already see this part? That residents, according to the Fishbowl, residents are concerned about the safety of placing regulators on the outside, where they will be more vulnerable to vandalism and damage from scooters, bicycles, and car collisions.
Bullshit.
Well, and they argue they will negatively impact the appearance of their homes in federally registered historic neighborhoods.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, that was always the case, but.
I mean, listen, I mean, the safety of your regulator being on the outside where, all those things could crash into it, but also it could be shut off versus the regulator being in every weirdo's basement across the city.
Well, so their council basically says the greatest, he pointed to data from the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration to show the greatest, quote, this greatest safety risk from fossil gas explosions is from outside force damage, and particularly damage from vehicle collisions. And then he goes on to say, we are unaware of any analysis. The Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration, the PHMSA. We are unaware of any analysis.
25 people have joined the lawsuit.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
And they do make, this is a good point. One of them says, look, there's no emergency work here. Let's stop and let the courts decide.
Yeah.
Some gas pressure regulators were installed in some of the homes without consent.
How does that happen?
BG&E is talking about drilling 3-inch boreholes through marble that's 100 years old.
Yeah.
They keep saying not our consent, but when you contract with gas company, you have to give your consent for unfettered access at all times to the equipment.
Yeah.
So legally, they probably do have the right to do it.
It's true. Here.
What?
Adult movies corrupted me. I'm sorry. The Random Menace said 3 inches, rather on the small side, which I thought was funny. But then I saw this thing, which is even funnier. Adult movies corrupted me. Now I think the repairman comes a few minutes after I call.
I did not take any of that in because I'm reading at the same time. Sorry.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah. Okay. I can't find it. It's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of, other than all the murders, that's kind of the biggest story in Baltimore right now.
These people are more concerned about property values than their safety. If the house blows up, they can always sue the gas company. A hole in some old marble loses value to them. Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. Adult movies corrupted me. Now I think the repairman comes. Oh, I see. Okay, that's what you just read. I heard the
Yes.
last like 3 words. Only okay. This can happen only in the U.S. If this is a question of public safety, nobody will ask. Yeah. I was thinking the whole time, like, yeah, the same people who were talking about a 3-inch hole. Everybody down here was like, "What is wrong with these Americans not wanting to put a small piece of cloth on over their nose during a pandemic? Like, why are they freaking the fuck out?" It's a similar situation because the legal system in the U.S. treats private property, especially your home, as practically a civil rights situation, like having to wear a mask. But you know what the PG&E should do, actually, if they want to just get around all this, is go to the banks that own the homes, because I guarantee you none of those people own their homes outright. And the mortgage company can absolutely require that they install this safety equipment. And, of course, the banks won't get involved because they're already winning. Everybody's got their insurance, and the banks don't really care if anything blows up.
Are there people doing stuff?
Yeah, there's a truck over there. I don't know what they're doing. Can't see them through my plant. Okay, quick. Quick, go to the rundown thing.
The rundown thing. Well, there's apparently a difference between a crab watch and a crab warning.
A what?
Hold on, this is really dumb. Hang on, I'm going to show you.
A what
Come here,
watch?
buddy. A crab watch and a crab warning. They should make it so you can just double click on the tab you want to open.
Chesapeake Bay blue crab? Crab? Is that what you're saying? Crab
Do you see
watch?
I guess they're making a weather joke.
Yes. Which is all the funnier when put that way.
And I'd like to say that I have my little bowl of Royal Farms Chesapeake seasoning, which is definitely not Old Bay.
Here. My phone's on 3%.
Uh-oh. Well, when your phone dies, we should just stop it.
Okay.
And we'll come back to it again at another time.
All right, I'll close everything else.
You have a big phone, so that 3% could last a good 6 or 7 minutes, right?
Yeah, possibly. What else is in the rundown?
Hang on. Oh, Musk versus Zuck.
Oh, God. Okay, before we say anything, I want to hear what the people in the chat think of this thing.
Think of that.
Yeah. They must know what we're saying, Musk versus Zuck.
Yeah. I think they must as well. Hang on.
And for those who we're talking about, I can't remember.
You can't remember what?
I can't remember. So, it was Zuckerberg who challenged Musk to a fucking cage fight or something?
No, I think it started the other way. I think Musk, unless that's what you said, I think Musk challenged Zuckerberg.
I assumed it was Zuckerberg because he's actually been training in cage fighting, hasn't he? MMA.
No, I mean, well, let's
determine some facts.
Yeah, hold on.
Hi, Matthew. How are you?
Let's find the timeline.
I still remember watching Matthew put together his new computer. I think he's putting in a new graphics card or something. Okay. Joseph says, The random menace. Not sure how in the U.S., but if I do not have all the certificates valid and there is an accident, the insurance won't pay. From chimneys to lighting, lightning rods, electric wires, water and gas pipes. Yeah, that's probably true, except then the government comes in and, figures out a way to sort of half kind of bail people out or force the insurance company. Basically, all insurance is backed up by the U.S. government anyway. Because there's the insurers and then there's the reinsurers, and reinsurance is all dependent on Fed policy, and it's I mean, not it's not like the Fed insures the reinsurers, but it's all when it all comes down to it, when Lehman Brothers closes, the government will step in and just hand out money, right?
So here's the skinny on the Musk thing. So apparently, Elon Musk said to Zuckerberg that they should have a cage fight. And Zuckerberg
in what
replied,
context? When?
it was on Twitter.
Like he just came out and said that?
Yeah.
Like with no... I like what Matthew says. I have no desire to watch one skinny, awkward social media guy fight another skinny, awkward social media guy.
Yeah.
I actually would love to see that fight. The problem is they're both actually they're swinging something other than their fists, right?
So according to the Guardian, it was in response to Meta talking about launching a Twitter competitor. And he said, I'm sure Earth can't wait to be exclusively under Zuck's thumb, Musk tweeted on Wednesday in response to a post about Meta's rumored Threads app. At least it will be sane, Musk added, was worried there for a moment. And when a follower warned the Twitter boss should watch his words around Zuckerberg, Musk responded, I'm up for a cage match if he is, lol. And then Zuckerberg said, let's do it.
Like with Matthew, their feet, yeah. And then I saw something that may have just been like a fake thing, but that like it's got to be that like one of their moms said they.
It was I don't know about the moms. One of their fathers said that both would that Musk would lose either way, because either he would come off as a bully or he would get his ass beaten by Zuckerberg.
I just find the entire thing 100% embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like I'm embarrassed by it. It's like fucking Sarkozy or Putin. Like these people can't just be the ridiculously like wealthy and powerful people they are. They have to go also, be like, oh, look at the size of my dick. It's really irritating.
I'd like to amend Mr. Lundell's statement of the 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. I think it could very well be 2 men enter, no man leaves.
Are you kidding? What I think?
Yes, I am kidding.
I don't think either of their companies would, insurance companies would allow them to have this fight.
I mean, I wonder if they're going to wear protective gear, if they're, like, they have to be, right? They're not going
to fight. I'd be, what, this might the whole thing might just be, in pro wrestling style, eyeball grabbing.
There's some story. Hang on, let me see if I can find this. What is it like?
Hey, I heard something interesting, kind of along these lines. When like CEOs and board members of companies get kidnapped, and sorry to laugh at that, but get kidnapped, and they end up, the family or the company ends up paying ransom, they can file it as a business expense in the United States.
That makes perfect sense.
And I was reading about the kidnapping of one of the guys who started Aldi in Germany. And which this was in like when was it? Like early 90s maybe. It's a really fascinating story. Yosef says it will be a PR stunt and they will merge their companies to a twit book. I like twit face. It's, um, okay. Okay. So let me just briefly, what are you doing? Why are you silent?
I'm trying to find this. There was some story that
Wait, are you sounding like that just to me or is it?
what?
Oh, I think my phone's going to die.
Oh, okay. Well, listen. Let's say goodbye then.
No, no, now it's okay. It was 1971. Theo Albrecht, one of the
Okay.
my phone rang. Was
Okay.
kidnapped at gunpoint and held for ransom for 17 days.
Jesus.
And the ransom, so they tried to get a $7 million ransom out of him. And one great thing is, it's a discount grocery store. He talked them down. He got a discount on his on his ransom, um, which I think is funny. Don't you think that's funny, Chris?
Yes, it's very funny.
Did you hear what I said?
It was about the guy being held for 17 days and they used the ransom to write it
No,
off.
no, it wasn't. The guy, it's a discount. Aldi's a discount grocery store,
Oh yeah.
and he managed to get a discount on his ransom. He talked them down while he was captive.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's great.
Um, but anyway, he tried to write that off on Aldi's taxes in Germany the next year. And I don't think they let him. Oh no, here this was it. The kidnappers were caught later, but they only recovered half the money, and then Albrecht um, tried to claim it as a tax deductible business expense, and he couldn't get away with it.
That's funny.
Also, Aldi, Theo Albrecht and his brother started Aldi, and they split in the 90s because one of them wanted to sell cigarettes and the other didn't. Um, and it wasn't because of health, it was because of safety, I think. Like, I guess places that sell cigarettes get
Get
robbed more
robbed?
often. Yeah. So they separated Aldi into two different companies, Aldi Nord and Aldi Sur. And there's an Aldi equator in the world. Like there's like they separated the world into two different um like
Do they have one mega store in the middle on the equator?
yeah, right.
Up. All right. Well, I think Andrea's phone has died, so I'm going to go. Nice chatting with all of you. We'll do this again real soon. Goodbye.